once again. It is Tuesday morning, September 6th, and this morning in our devotional, it says more than just a pretty face. And this is a good devotional this morning. So let's get started. Psalm 139, verse 16. You saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Every moment was laid out before a single day had passed. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 18. I pray that your hearts will be flooded with light so that you can understand the confident hope he has given to those he called, his holy people who are his rich and glorious inheritance. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Psalm chapter 143, verse 10. Teach me to do your will, for you are my God. Your spirit is good. Lead me in the land of uprightness. Psalm chapter 57, verse 2. I cry out to God Most High, to God who fulfills his purpose for me. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 4. The Lord has made everything for its purpose. Let me read that again. It's Proverbs chapter 16, verse 4. The Lord has made everything for its purpose. Everything, everyone has a purpose. We talked about that yesterday in the devotional. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 9 through 10. God has now revealed to us his mysteries with regard to Christ, which is to fulfill his own good plan. And this is the plan. At the right time, he will bring everything together under the authority of Christ, everything in heaven and on earth. And at the bottom, it says, potential is when others see a shepherd boy, but God sees a king. Jesus stood before fishermen and saw the potential of witnesses, fishers of men. He held 5 fish and 2 loaves of bread and saw the potential to provide an abundance of food. God saw a young virgin, a mother for his son. Of course, you are more than what you see now. You will discover that truth when you meet him face to face. And that's a good devotional. Because you are more than what you see in the mirror. I needed that devotional this morning because even recently, I talk to God and I say, Lord, nobody wants to hear from a nobody. And I feel that I'm a nobody. So I needed that. And I'm sure others need that. You are more than what you see in the mirror. God knows exactly the purpose that he has for you. He has a purpose for everyone. You know, you're more than just that pretty face you see looking back at you. Okay? And I don't see a pretty face looking back at me because I think the same thing when I see myself in the mirror. But you are more than what you see in the mirror, and you all have a beautiful soul. Keep God in everything. He has a purpose for you, and he will prepare you. I do believe with everything in me. That's why he calls people out. He calls people and sets them aside. And it reminds me of Elijah. He called Elijah into the wilderness for, I think it was 3.5 years. Remember, or no, it was for a year and something. But anyway, he called Elijah into the wilderness during the drought to prepare him. And Elijah stayed focused on God, even when he had nothing. Even to the point, because the drought was going on, even to the point that, what's it say? The ravens brought food to Elijah during this time. He had nothing, and God was preparing him during that time for what he would do at Mount Carmel. And if you remember what happened at Mount Carmel, it's where Elijah went and called down fire from heaven to prove that his God was the God that they should be worshiping. And he had so many other prophets and everything against him, and he stood alone. And that's what God does for us. He calls you out. I know a lot of people feel lonely. I've felt that way. I've always felt like I don't fit in. I'm nothing. Nobody wants to hear from a nobody. But as I read and study God's Word, I feel like I have all this information, and nobody wants to hear it. Everybody shuts me down. But I don't feel like I fit in any place, in a church or with anybody. I pretty much stand alone. But sometimes he calls us out. He don't feel lonely. Never feel lonely. And I know what it's like to feel lonely. Never feel lonely. He is always with you. And sometimes he calls you out because he's preparing you for the purpose, just like we read. He has a purpose for all of us. He's preparing you. When he calls you out, he's preparing you, just like Elijah. He's preparing you for the purpose that he has for you. Okay? It's all in his Word, guys. Everything that we go through, everything is in his Word. Sometimes I need a reminder of that. So, I love you guys very, very much. And I hope you all get something from this devotional. It seems like some of the devotionals go together, just like that one. It goes with the one from yesterday. It seems like it may have been yesterday, it may have been the day before. Anyway, but you're not just that pretty face that looks back at you in the mirror. You are made for a purpose. Everything that God has put on this earth has a purpose, and you do too. So don't forget that. Never feel alone. God is always with you. And if you are set aside and you're like me, you feel alone, you feel like you have no friends, you don't fit in, you're just weird. So sometimes I'm just weird. I feel like I must be weird. I'm just the crazy woman who lives up at the end of this holler. But sometimes it's God setting you aside, putting you in the wilderness, just like Elijah, so he can bring you up and prepare you for what he has in store, just like Elijah. Okay? I love you guys. And I will leave you with that. As always, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Please let me know in the comments. I love to read your all's comments. I really do. It really inspires me and helps me to know I'm not alone. That there are others out there who feels the same as I do. So my email is also there if you're more comfortable emailing me. But join us on the Disciple server. You can also message me there, direct message me there, or Telegram. All these links are down in the description. I love you guys, and I won't keep you all. Enjoy your Tuesday. I am, like I said, working on an end times video. You all know how much I like studying end times, but I have found something very interesting, and I think it will interest you all too. But I love you guys, and Lord willing, we will have a study group today, so that will go out later today, Lord willing. But I love you once again, and if I don't see you in the next video, I really, really pray that we are gathered with Jesus in the clouds very, very, very soon. I love you guys. Bye.